and welcome to another episode of Conversations with G&G. We're so excited to have a very special guest with us today. Joining us is Sharon. She's a valued client of in-home aged care services who'll be sharing her personal journey with in-home aged care. With her first-hand experience, Sharon offers a unique and insightful perspective on the impact that caregiving has on her daily life and also her overall well-being. So today she's going to be diving in to the important topic of navigating in-home care, the challenges and the benefits it brings, and also sharing some advice with us on others considering this option for themselves or their loved ones. So welcome, Sharon. We're so thrilled to have you with us.
Hello.
Now, Sharon, how is it that you came to be involved with in-home aged care services?
Well, my journey basically started because I was diagnosed at an early age with rheumatoid arthritis, and over the years that's progressively got worse and I've needed lots of operations. So therefore I've needed some help around just my daily routine things that I do each day.
And how has that support helped you with your quality of life?
Oh, it's been amazing because if I didn't have that, I remember when I didn't have it, it was really, really hard because you just everyday things like getting up, cooking a meal, even showering, all those personal things became quite hard. So now that I have it, it's whether it's after an operation or just day-to-day living, it's easy because you know that it's just going to happen. You can get up and if you're having a really bad day, that there's someone there to help.
Yeah. That's nice and comforting for you to know that there's someone.
And that you're not struggling on your own.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you find the companionship aspect of it as well?
I love that because I'm a talker and I like being around people, and if you're stuck at home, you don't have that. So for someone to come into your home and be able to not just be there to help you with the daily function of tasks, whether that be helping you with your shower or helping you prepare food or taking you shopping, just to have that interaction with someone else is really, really important.
Yeah, absolutely. Really does.
So, Sharon, what aspects of the services that has made the biggest impact on you and even around your family as well?
That's a really interesting one because I think that depends on how I'm feeling on the day and if I've had operations and things like that. But I think overall when I've had operations, someone being able to come in and shower you because you just want to feel clean, I suppose, freshen up, and to have someone come in and do that is really, it just makes you feel so good. And then I suppose if I look at it like more recently, the things that make a big difference are someone coming in to take me shopping. That's been really, really good because it gets me out. If I'm having a bad day, I can just use my walker and it's getting me out of the house, especially if I've been recovering and I haven't been able to drive for 6 or 8 weeks or something during that rehab time. So to have someone come in and be able to just get you out where you don't feel isolated, I find is really, really important. And also sometimes when I've had people coming in to do meals and things like that, when I've had my operation on my wrists and things like that, where I haven't been able to use my hands, or my hands just because of the arthritis have been really, really sore. So even like people coming in to do meal preparations and things, they've been probably the ones that have really been benefiting. And getting back to the shopping, that's really important for me because I can't lift anything heavier than a certain amount of weight and I can't straighten my arms. So to get things off shelves in the shops and bring them down, especially if there's a bit of weight with them, and even carrying your shopping bags and things like that, they're the things that you struggle with each day that people don't think about. And they're the things that I find that are really important for me.
That's a very good point, yeah.
Just on that, Sharon, do you find even on an emotional level that having those in-home services help too? So, for example, you have a son that lives on the other side of Melbourne. Your daughter's a nurse and she's very busy too. Do you find that it takes the pressure off you having to worry about asking your family for things too?
Absolutely. And I always think my children have got their lives. If there is help out there for me to be able to use that, and it frees them up to, like with my grandchildren, their children, to be able to do things like that with them without worrying about their mum. Yeah. But also I don't want them to feel like at my age that they have to come and look after me when there's there's services out there that can help as well. Yeah. And I actually was thinking about that and I thought, yeah, that to me is really important, that they don't feel, because there will come a time, I think, when they will need to step up a little bit more, but it's not now.
Yeah.
Some families, I think this is a really good discussion because some families find it's a hard discussion to have, and sometimes loved ones don't want to get the help, or they're not in denial, but they think that they can keep going. What advice do you have maybe to the family in terms of having those hard conversations with their loved ones about seeking other services, other types of support? When you first started, did you know and say, yep, I'm definitely going to get in home care, I'm going to get some support, or were you hesitant about making that step?
I was actually really hesitant.
Okay, yeah, which is common.
It is, yeah. And I think it's because, well, for me it was, I'm not that bad, other people need it more than what I do.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us are like that. Yeah. And then one day somebody said something to me and I just knew that I just couldn't do what I thought I could do. And so it was embarrassment of admission, I guess, for me, that I had got to that stage, because I've always been a very independent person. So it just takes a while and you just got to work through it. And I think when you get to that stage and you're working through that, I think if people had have just pushed me a lot more, I would have backed right off. But I think it was really important that people would talk to me about it and let me work it through within myself without feeling like I was getting pushed into something that I didn't want to do. Because when the time came where I really needed it, I felt okay about asking for that help. It didn't feel like it was forced on me.
Yeah.
So it was for you. It was an educational process that you wanted to.
I wouldn't say educational. It was more about physically. I just couldn't do things.
No, in terms of getting to know what services are out there, and then for you to know when you're ready to receive them.
Knowing what services there were, how to access them, and not giving up, trying to work out how to get there, because it's not an easy system to navigate your way through. And so I found I had to learn to be persistent. I had to just keep trying and ask lots of questions. That was the thing, till I really understood what I needed and what I wanted and what was going to benefit me and my journey on, through this field.
And was the cost of services something that worried you before you knew about packages and things like that?
No, I don't think so, because I had help. I had the NDIS to help me. But I can understand it would for some people, yeah. But I don't think if you can get the help like from the government and that, it's not too bad, the cost really. I think it helps to take that pressure off, because you've got that funding there to help you, and to access that is a really, really good thing, because not everybody has the money to be able to do things privately.
Yeah, so true.
So have you had any challenges while you've been receiving home care, and how have you come about facing those?
Oh, yes, there's been a few challenges. And I think some of that's really been I've had to put my big girl pants on and deal with them. And I'm not a person who likes a challenge. Yeah, it goes back, I think, to what I was saying before, knowing what's out there, looking at what will work for you and being persistent, asking a lot of questions. And when things do go wrong, just, as I said, putting on the big girl pants and trying to deal with it and navigate my way through it. Yeah.
Where did you go to find information? Did you go on Google or did you go to a friend or a social worker?
I asked a lot of friends and I rang around different companies to try and see what they were offering and how different things worked within their association. And I think just in my mind it just got so confusing. So, yeah, that was one of the big challenges and trying to have that understanding how it can work for you and what will benefit you.
Can I ask a question about the confusing information? If you could offer advice to those who are running or organising all of this, what would you say in terms of the client perspective? Like, how can we improve it and make it easier for clients, consumers and their families?
Be patient when people are asking questions. Ask them a few more questions so that you get an understanding of what the client is actually asking for or looking at. And I guess encourage them to ask questions as well. Yeah, because I think the communication's a really big part of it.
Yeah.
And not one glove fits everybody, you know. We're all different. All our needs are different. The variation of our needs is different. Yeah, that's what I'd be asking.
Yeah.
So, Sharon, we had a bit of a chat before and you mentioned that in the past you had to organise in-home care services for your own mum. For aged care service. Can you talk us through a little bit about your experience and some advice that you can give us to the audience around that?
Well, it just sort of happened fairly quickly with Mum, and she developed dementia as well, and trying to organise some of that for her as well as explain things, keep it simple, and also for me trying to know what services would benefit her, and then her not wanting those services even though you know that she needed them.
Yeah, that's a big one,
That was a real
it?
challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people go through that because especially those with dementia because they have one day they're fine and the next, no, I don't want it. And they have no reason to say that. They don't understand. They don't even remember yesterday. So that is really hard on families who are helping to get those services for their loved ones.
So how did you get across that?
I just had to make decisions and, yes, she didn't like them.
Right. So you had to just be firm and just organise things for her and then hopefully she will accept that.
Organise things for her, but also as a family member, be there for her as much as possible so that she didn't feel like it was almost like being put in a nursing home or something where she was being forgotten about because I felt she still needed to be shown that she was loved and that, you know, it wasn't like getting all these things set up for her and then having nothing to do with her. Because I think that was one of her big fears.
Absolutely. So it's like an extension of the family, having someone coming at home and looking after your mom and embracing that concept. And
also for Mum, we were lucky enough that she clicked with people. You know, that was really important for her. And when we had to change one of her providers over because her needs got, what would you call them, she had needed more care in that, and therefore she had lost one of her favourite workers. Just trying to work through her with that was really, really difficult because she had no understanding of why that was actually going to be the case. Why can't I have her? And trying to explain to her that need, her needs were more now, was really, really hard.
Yeah, that's a good point because you build those relationships and when that doesn't occur anymore, it can be a very big setback.
Well, she didn't like me very much for a while, so it does put strain on the family. When they're doing all this organising that is actually going to benefit them, but they can't see that, and it's really upsetting because you don't want to see your parent, whether it's your mum or your dad or even a sibling or whoever it is, going through that because it hurts. You know that you're doing something for them, but when they can't see it and in the end it's going to benefit them, but you have to just make those decisions sometimes and take the consequences from that. But it's really difficult, yeah.
Yeah. Do you find that helpful to set those expectations at the start? Say, hey, Mom, we're going to have a new person, but again,
I did that.
this new person might leave. So, I just set those rules that she's not going to be, your forever carer. Things can still change.
Yes, we did that, but it just didn't go down well because she was a bit of a stubborn lady, but that's what got her to the age she was at too, I think. But she just knew that she liked this person, and to her there was nobody better.
Yeah.
That could see her needs and fill them, and this person did spoil Mum a little bit. She loved Mum too. There was a great relationship with them, and she understood, and she was wonderful. She explained everything to Mum. And Mum said she was fine, but she wasn't. But she knew that she had nowhere else to go with that. Yeah.
I see. And did you manage to find a good replacement?
Well, not long after that, she had a fall and passed away. But she was getting used to it, and she liked them. Okay. Yes, yeah.
That's positive.
And it was just a different change of pace and routine for Mum as well. That was something else that she had to get used to because I found with her dementia, things needed to be a routine for her. That was really, really important for her to have that. And if you broke that routine because, like, if I had an appointment and I couldn't take her to what was her routine, she just couldn't understand and work her way around that, that was... You couldn't help things like that sometimes, yeah. So routine's really important, I felt.
That's spot on.
So Sharon, what is it that you look for, like the characteristics of a caregiver, and how is your current caregiver meeting those needs and expectations?
Well, I've got a bit of a wicked sense of humour. So they've got to have a bit of a sense of humour.
Yeah.
They've got to like talking. They've got to like to sit down and have a coffee with me and maybe some lunch.
And they get paid to do this?
Oh, absolutely.
Get paid to have a sense of humour and like to talk. Sounds like a pretty good job.
Oh, she's amazing. Yeah, she's really, really good. Very happy with her. And actually when I don't have her for different reasons, yeah, I miss her because we do have a lot of fun together. Yeah. And there's just been a connection that's developed. Yeah. That's with my the one that takes me shopping, and then the one that does the cleaning. She's she's pretty good too. We have a bit of a chat when she comes. So for me, it's important that there's definitely connection that gets built.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of fun, and as I said, likes to eat and have a coffee. All those are important to me.
That's good. And it is important, isn't it? Because you're letting someone into your personal space, and that's, I guess, the beautiful thing too about, most people that are carers, they go into that line of work because they do have a genuine care and compassion for people. And so it can be something that's really important, not just on that, level of a carer needs a job and you need carer needs care. it's that those genuine, authentic relationships form there that are so life-giving.
Absolutely, because they're coming in too, and in a way they're replacing your family to a certain point because they're doing things that your family can't do for whatever reasons. Like they might live interstate, they might be working, they have young families, whatever it is that they just can't do. So to have a carer come in, and I suppose you've got that expectation for them to live up to and be able to do that. It's amazing when it does happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, the power of relationships is so powerful.
It's key, isn't it?
Isn't it key?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Fantastic.
it's a basic human need,
You
Gio, isn't
form
it?
that bond, and it's beautiful to see.
Yeah.
I've only ever had a couple of workers that I hadn't really clicked with in all the years that I've been.
And that can happen, you know.
It can. And even with that, it was, as I've said before, I had to get my big girl pants on and say something, you know. And I don't like to do that because I don't like people being upset. But in the end, it was about my needs, not about hurting them. And I would never want to hurt them, but or upset them. But I guess they're used to it, but I'm not used to doing that to people. But it was about trying to find, just someone that I clicked with, I guess. And I feel like
100%.
I've done that now. So
And Sharon, you see there's a big focus from the government on making sure that consumers and participants feel heard and they are able to provide that feedback.
yeah,
Very, very big focus on that. So it's all about providing the feedback so that they can improve on the service delivery. They, participants feel heard and they feel like they're receiving, the care that they need. So it's all about you.
yes. And can I say from a participant's point of view too, I get turned off by things when someone comes to pick me up and cars are dirty. They've got to take things off the seat for you to be able to sit. And if you ask them, sometimes they've got upset. Or can you move that off the floor, please, because I might trip over that, things like that. And I've had to do that. And as a participant, you don't feel valued when you have to do that. You don't feel that you're important enough for them to, clean the seat, keep the things off the floor so you don't trip, things like that. And that's just one of those bad things that's happened. Not often, but it has happened. Yeah. And I think that's because that to me says to the client, you're just a job, you're just a number, you're not important. I'm doing this for the money, not because I'm here because I want to help you.
Yeah. And that was like a previous provider though too, wasn't it? It's not the one you're with
yes,
now.
it was. But, it's there and it happens probably more than people realise too. Yeah. And I think, even the way that they dress and things like that is really, really important to me as a client. I see those things as really special because if a client comes to me and they're dirty, have got dirty nails and things like that, I, as a client, immediately think, this isn't going to go down well. It's immediately puts a damper on things to me because it shows that I'm not respected enough to be, it's just me. I don't know if everyone else would be like that. Some people may not care, but I do.
Yeah.
And things like that, it's important to bring up with the provider because they need to know. So it is all
Absolutely.
about making sure that the workforce is professional and you're right, like at the end of the day, it's about the client and the client's wishes and the impression that the workforce and the caregiver makes is important too. So
Yes, yeah.
it is important to bring up.
And how the provider responds to your feedback is what you got to look for.
Yes.
Because
You want an outcome.
it's all
or an
well and
action.
said to share some feedback and then what? You want to see that actually feedback has been taken on board and implemented, and there's a genuine effort to improve and make it better for you.
Yes.
So if you see that, that's when you see it's a good quality provider, right? Because things like that can happen to anyone, and any providers, good or bad. Either they have training or not. They can have caregivers that might not be a great fit for the organization, or they might need a refresher.
Or to me, it says they don't have that respect for themselves. So therefore, where's that respect for that client?
Yeah.
Yes. And I've had to speak up before, and sometimes it hadn't gone down well, which is sad. But I think sometimes that's when it's time to move on and change and find someone better.
Exactly right. If you feel like you're not feeling valued and heard from the provider, not so much from the caregiver, because at the end of the day, management is what they need to take action, right? It could be changing of caregiver, implementing a new training, or
Can I just put a bit of a flip on that for a minute too? Because I'm sitting here like hearing you all talk and knowing that, Giselle and Giovanni, you lead, a care organisation. Sharon, you're a participant. For those that are tuning in right now that are maybe in that position where they're, they've got something they're not happy with, or, what is the perspective from an organisational point of view when you have a worker that's maybe not presenting themselves well, not representing the organisation well, maybe not treating a client with the respect that's needed? How does that sit with you guys, and how do you handle that? Because I think that's important for people to know, both ends of that, not only how to deal with it themselves, but what the organisation actually expects.
Because that's a very good point, Danny. Yeah, Giselle, probably you're in a good position to share.
Well, if we talk specifically about presentation, we do have a dress code, right? So, and there is rules that our workforce need to follow in terms of that. But, we welcome feedback and it will come in. And the first thing we do is we do chat to the employee and make sure that, we hear their point of view. We need to give them a fair process and make sure that they're heard as well, or, people go through all sorts of things in their own personal lives. So we take everything in consideration, and we use it. Depends on the seriousness, of course, but we give them an opportunity to talk to us about what's going on or why they did something, and then we'll take it from there. Could be something as like retraining, or go through the dress code policy with them again, or it could be something a bit more serious, maybe more disciplinary.
And then we launch an investigation, and we'll trigger a series of interviews where we could involve clients,
witnesses. There's all sorts of things. So it really depends on the seriousness of the matter.
But we certainly do take it seriously, whatever feedback that is, and try our very best to address that the best we can in fairness, and circle back with the participant or the client as much as we can. Obviously, we can't overshare, right?
Yeah.
There's still a level of privacy and confidentiality.
For the employee, yes, right? Exactly. Yeah.
And not only that, we take a step further for the employee himself. We offer a what we call a wellness and mental health support system for all our employees, where regardless of the situation, we always advocate for them to tap into that resource. It's there for them. We invested as an organization into providing the best possible support for our employees, whether that be mental health or any other type of support, time off work. So we always advocate for them to look after themselves, no matter whether they're at fault or not.
But generally speaking, when you do hear that feedback, you do feel that a little bit of disappointment, that because you think about, what you would expect with your own parents or grandparents, right? You'd want them, if they've got a service and they're paying for it, you want them to be in a clean car. You want them to be transported in a clean car with someone that's professional looking, and that, especially if you're out and about, the consumer and client is proud to be standing next to that person who's helping them and with the focus on them. So,
and there are times where we go back to the interview notes as well for that particular employee. To maybe understand what went wrong, and or if there was any added red flag that was raised during the interview, so we can learn and not making the same, if you want, assumptions or mistake, if that would be a mistake during the interview process, because that's where it all starts in the interview, in the screening process of bringing on the best possible
workforce.
employee possible, that better reflects your values and your purpose.
And the key, I think another key thing is to have a really wide range of workforce, because obviously you've got a wide range of clients and everyone wants different things. So you also need to be looking at that when you do hire workforce.
And you match that with the participants and the
We've gone
clients.
on to a bit of a workforce tangent,
But I think
haven't
it's
we?
important because for the client, they're in the middle of that if they're carer.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
And so I think it's
They might not necessarily know what's happening
yeah,
you know,
true.
behind the scenes, right?
exactly. But I think the bottom line that I'm getting, and look, I'm at a bit of an advantage here because I know you all personally as well as professionally. And so I know, Giselle, when you're sharing this stuff about caring for your employees and caring for your clients, and then you've got Gio's mum living with you, you're doing it yourselves on a practical level. You guys are so well-rounded at that, and you do have a genuine care. Like, you're not just in this whole thing for money and business. You're in care because you care, and you're in care because you're doing it yourselves, and it's such a genuine thing. I think that's a beautiful and an important thing for those tuning in to hear, that the priority really is them as a participant. You know, it is important for them to be able to speak up. It is important for them to feel valued and cared for, and it's important for the service provider to know that their staff are cared for, but also held accountable and doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So, it's an
Thank you,
important
Dan.
angle.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, Sharon, thank you so much for being with us today. We really have appreciated all of your insight on both being a carer and being a participant, and we wish you all the best in the rest of your care journey.
Thanks, Denny. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Conversations with G&G. We hope today's chat offered some fresh insight and support for your caregiving journey.
If you're looking for more tools, strategies, or just a bit of encouragement, head over to our website. You'll find resources to guide you every step of the way.
Whether you've just started out as a caregiver or you've been caring for a loved one for years, there's something there for you.
Don't forget to subscribe, share this episode with someone who needs it, and join us next month for another real, honest conversation.